Would you let a random stranger play with your shaft? Well, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm off to drop off the bits of my prop shaft, the part from a Lexus IS300H CVT, the prop shaft that goes back from that on the normal Lexus car, the Gubo from that, thank you commenter, yes, I know, and also the original prop shaft from my BMW Z3, so that an expert can make them all together. At least they can if they tell me that they're up for it and they tell me the price is going to be right. Unfortunately, they don't want me to film there, so I'll just be doing all the bits, but the actual process will be a bit of a black box until we get an actual prop shaft that I can throw in the car. Parts dropped off in an industrial estate in the middle of Salford, but nice drive. It even cleared up enough for me to have the roof down, so I shall enjoy my drive back. Some nice waves from people enjoying the car. Very much enjoying my new interior. Well, I do keep forgetting that I've moved the roof switch, but I'm sure I'll get used to it sooner or later. You find me underneath my car, about to get the rear half of the prop shaft off, which in some ways I probably should have taken with me anyway, but they've just called up. It's Northwest Prop Shafts who I took it to, and they've said 125 quid plus VAT, which I think is very reasonable, including balancing the full shaft. So I'm going to take this off, ship it up to them tomorrow, and they're going to do the whole lot for 125 quid, which, since this goes through my business, because amazingly doing this crazy project does generate you work, is 125 quid flat. Marvellous. So I've marked, as you can see, the position of the end shaft bearing, so I can get the preload on it right next time. It's just a question of popping those two nuts off, and then I think I can just pull it off then, or do I actually have to unbolt it at the other end as well? Oh, I can't see where I am. You can see better than I can. Oh, it has a CV at the other end. It's a lot more bolts than I thought. This might be a job for when it's not in the middle of a storm. So nuts are coming off pretty easily, thankfully, or in line with the general theme of this car, which has just been really a delight to work on. They were quite stiff, and I've only got a short 16mm spanner, so I've been locking the handle of my big adjustable wrench into the thing, like, you can't really see, but you can see how I would do it. Lock the handle in like that, use it as a breaker bar, and that's got them off with just a bit of penetrating oil. Did get the big torch out, but I haven't actually needed it. So spin those off and we can jump in the car and head back to Salford. There we go. One teeny tiny rear prop shaft. I was thinking I was going to need to take the wafter to go up to Salford, which would be a good idea because I could do a tip run and stuff at the same time. But it's not raining. The car's charging. Let's take the fun car instead. Well, that's very cool. Just dropped it off, and the prop shaft will be done this afternoon. Can't get back this afternoon, but tomorrow we might be putting a prop shaft on. There we go. One shortened prop shaft. I have to say they've done an absolutely lovely job. I'm really impressed. Look at that. 125 quid plus that. All balanced, all painted, looking really smart, ready to drop straight in as soon as I get some time. Right, sod it, there's no time like the present, so I've put about 93 layers because it's absolutely freezing today, and we're going to get this prop shaft on, and that'll make a nice wrap up for this video. There's no really good way to film this, I don't think, and God knows what the sound will be like, but watch me struggle.
there is just no access to get the CV joint on straight. Up this end, hello, this end, we can get the cubo on and support the other end of the prop shaft with the spigot on here. When they say in the Haynes manual that refitting is the reverse of removal, they don't admit how difficult it is. I'll be back to you when this is on. My battery ran out at a very inappropriate moment. So, ow! Getting assaulted by a dial gauge. You can see, well, you can't see anything actually, you can't read that, it says 8.8, but if I zero it, no, I've just turned the laser on. Right, I've zeroed it, and then I put it on here, it reads, oh, it was reading, don't know if you can read that, it reads 5.2, it was reading 5 exactly a minute ago, it may have settled slightly, 5.1, 5.2, 5.15. So minor adjustments needed on that. Sorry, moving that around and holding the phone at the same time and holding my head up is rather challenging. So that's that measurement I've done. And then let me just stop the phone, I'll stop the recording and I'll put the dial gauge back from where it just assaulted me, and I'll show you how little that's moving as well. This is not a precision instrument. This is probably AliExpress or equivalent dial gauge that I bought around the same time as my lathe, which is similarly not an expensive or high quality one. So you've got to take the readings you get off this with a pinch of salt. But if we twiddle this around, that's at roughly 0 there. Rotate this. You see, apart from one spot where there seems to be a lump on the thing, we're getting about 0.4 mil of movement at most. 0.4 mil I can cope with. There'll be a little bit more adjustment, bear in mind we've got no bolts in here at the moment because I don't have any M12 bolts, so I need to get the proper ones, but I'll probably get some cheap ones from the hardware store just for testing. So 0.4 mil, the angle pretty much exactly right with some minor adjustment, and it looks like we only need a very slight, you probably can't get this perspective on here, I'll rotate you around a little bit. We can have a plate that comes across here with a little saddle for this, and then a step up to here, and I've already got something like that on CAD at the moment. Just looking at Andy's car, his motor seems to be sitting both higher up and further back, if I'm right, or actually no, it might be sitting actually roughly the same height. I'd need to have a look at the photos of his mount. He used the original BMW mount and rubbers, and then made a plate which I think bolts to here to attach it, whereas I'm going to keep the original Lexus mount and then bolt a plate, have this sit on a plate which comes off here, like I said, largely flat plate, bit of a saddle for that, and then up and bolt in here, and that should be nice and strong. So yeah, good progress. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm very pleased with the speed at which this project is progressing. Very much looking forward to getting on with some proper fabrication, making up the motor mount. We'll do some more testing on this once I've got all the bolts in, and the back of the prop shaft, not just finger tight, and some bolts in the front flange as well. But all in, looking in really good shape to keep this progressing. And you never know, we may even have a motor spinning at some point. I don't know, but my birthday in April next year. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.